Quite recently, I watched a documentary on television in which they're saying that the first 2 years in university or colleges, these schools, is just about socialization, sex, drugs, drunk, party, and a bunch of nothing. And so maybe the other 2 years, I don't know what happens in the other final 2 years, but those 2 years are crucial years, and if you waste those, I think that the other years are going to be also compromised. For example, if you're studying business management and you played around in the first 2 years when you did your psychology, your sociology, your statistics, your parliamentary procedure, your public speaking, and all those other courses, when you now do your management courses, of course, you might get an A in the management answer questions and answers, or I don't understand how they do it anyway, but they may get A's. But in actual fact, when you go to work, you'll find that your sociology that you wasted time on, the psychology and the statistics and the parliamentary procedure and so many other those electives and first and second year courses are very, very, very much germane to a very effective management career. For example, you're the manager of this organization, and there is a controversy amongst the staff. Well, how are you going to handle it? Are you just going to go about management? I mean, what in management can help you to solve it? But your sociology probably could. Your psychology could have. You could have looked socio-psychologically and say, well, maybe this person in this group here um, is aggressive and outgoing, and already we have in that group an outgoing and aggressive person who is the manager already. So there's a conflict right there. Or it could be from your law that you might have done, in which somebody told another person there's private affairs, and this person told somebody else, and this person now is holding the revealer of the tale to task, and you'll be able to show that hey, this person does have no responsibility to you to keep anything secret. Okay, so those courses are important. Now, when they waste the undergraduate years, and the question though is who is responsible for these stupid procedures and waste of time and so on. You find that it could be the testing organization or GRE, because they can come back now. For you to get into law, you have to do LSAT. For you to get in management graduate, you got to do the GMAT and other things, the GRE and medical, whatever you have to do to get in. And they appear making it appear as if this test is so important to discern who has the ability. Now, the LSAT is so outrageous that they're even taking that to the Caribbean. I don't understand why the Caribbean listening to them. But you see, the accreditation bodies, it's a complex maneuver by the enemy, okay? Because when these kids waste the first year, first and second year, and they are unprepared for their job, then it could cause, you put a square peg in the wrong hole, and this could cause economic dislocation and even a collapse. So the enemy wants that. Now look, for example, LSAT. I have 10 college degrees, 3 doctorates, 3 bachelor's, 1 with first class honors in America, 2 associates of arts, and 2 masters. And I can't pass this LSAT. Now, they're saying that you don't have to memorize nothing. You don't have to come to this test with no knowledge. You just go in and they can give you an argument and you have to analyze it. And there are 11 ways you can analyze it. It might be a main point. It might be a organization in question. It might be one about assumptions. You have different types of assumptions. It might be about parallel the argument. It might be about a whole bunch of stupidness that they compute. And they're saying that this is so important for your practice in law. But you know what? In the Caribbean and in England, they don't have that. And I think our attorneys could operate up to their levels. But you see, in courts in the Caribbean, I can't remember correctly, but I think that you don't write motions and you don't present briefs like to give the judge some paper to read. You go in there and you argue your points, and you're quoting law from memory and all that, or from your notes, whatever. That's the way it is done, and they're doing exceptionally well. In fact, attorneys have to spend like maybe 7 years in high school. You do 2 extra years to get into law school. That is what is more kind of relevant. Okay, And so they can tell you, well, the job is of such. Somebody might come to you and bring some confusing stuff. You need to be able to put it together, whatever. But the person is right there. In court, there's going to be, okay, you present your thing, the person will present another aspect of it, and the judge is going to make a decision. So my understanding and be able to take a jumble up thing and put it together correct, I don't see it has any place. What it does too is, um, as a judge and as an attorney, I can't take my pre-existing knowledge to analyze this case. I just have to deal with the information that is presented, and that's so bogus. So it is limiting our practice. So I think that we really need is to have a solid bachelor's degree. When a person get a bachelor's degree, it must be solid. You must know that this person spent 30 hours a week studying outside of the class, and that they have mastered the knowledge, and they're proficient and competent and will be able to do an effective job. And then if they want to go into graduate school, let them go. They pay the money, they do the courses, they come up to your criteria, and if they go there and they can't function, that's their problem. But it's, we want to make sure that they could function out there just to make that money in the LSAT. I have to pay them 100 and whatever. I think I had to pay $200 because I paid late. And basically, the exam, I believe that also, another thing, what I think with this LSAT exam is this, that the individuals who have played games in the first year, in the undergrad, studied nothing, and learn how to play this thing, this game that the LSAT up, and they score high and they go to Yale. Whereas, I don't see attorneys around doing any yeoman work, any earth-shattering work. It's just rudimentary stuff. Nothing. Look how many problems we have and they can't even figure it out. So, I believe, and I'm proposing, that we abolish LSAT, GRE, GMAT, medical entrance exam, and everything. Let the course be rigorous. And who can compete and who can get up to your standard, they have to go. That's the way to do it. But have this exam where they're making some money and they intentionally influence something to cause us not to have a good undergrad program so that they can come and make money. This is outrageous. And I think that it needs to stop. And I appreciate where the Secretary of Education, Mr. Arnie Duncan, is now saying that before you could get student loan and aid and all that in your program and you take people in your school, you got to make sure they're going to find a job. Because all they do is take you in, let you pass certain deadlines, they collect the money, you graduate, and you're in a big debt to the government or whoever, and you can't get no work. I always said that we have too much of educational resources deployed and just causing problems because we're having a whole bunch of people graduating. They're more ignorant than when they went to school, because now they're going to school and the party, they screw down the place, they use a bunch of drugs. So now they have compromised their health and the mental constitution. So, what's the point? So we need to get rid of LSAT, GMAT, GRE, all of these graduate entrance exams, because now we ensure that students, the degree means a lot. In the Caribbean, if you go down there with an American degree, American bachelor's or whatever, and they don't even study you because they know basically in the Caribbean the standard is so high that if you feel that you could come to America and get a true false question and get a degree and come down there, you don't get through like that. Okay? I know people who have gone from Harvard down to do medicine in the Caribbean and they can't function down there because the school, the way they do things is different. They've done more biology than this person ever did in his whole life. They did almost 7 years of biology in high school, passed on a high level, graduate with all A's to get into med school, and then this person, I don't know how they got into med school yet, I don't know what's the system, but they played around again, of course, in undergrad, passed this medical exam. They might have still been able to get honors, even though they haven't done nothing in college, and pass this medical exam, start, first year in Harvard or Yale, and then want to transfer to the Caribbean. They can't make it down there because these students have spent 30 to 50, all the waking hours they're studying, okay? So we need to get rid of these graduate exams because the people who are graduate, who can pass those exams, are not necessarily the best brains who could function in that profession properly. I believe that.